Charleston celebrates its 350th anniversary this year, and to commemorate that, Charleston Pirate Tours brings you Charleston history highlights, from major events to amusing anecdotes.
Hi, Sabrina with Charleston Pirate Tours, and today I'm at the Thomas Rose House at 59 Church Street, a very important structure. It says so right here on the sign. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's the only house in the city that has a marker on it that, okay, if you've walked around Charleston enough, you know if it's not moving too fast, we will nail an historic marker to it in this town. Well, this is the only one that says the place is haunted. But they got his name wrong. The plaque says Dr. Joseph Ladd Brown. No, it's Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Ladd is the last name. Now, he was known as the Whistling Doctor. That was his nickname because he loved old English folk tunes, whistled around the house, whistled on the way back and forth to the office, whistle while you work kind of a guy. Now, he moved here in 1785 from Rhode Island to begin a medical practice, and when he got here, he met another young transplant, Ralph Isaacs. Well, they become good friends, and they hang out, pal around together. But the doctor becomes accepted into Charleston's high society, and Ralph, apparently he was on the coarse side. They did not welcome him. So he got angry and jealous. They start arguing. This arguing escalates to an exchange of insults in the newspaper. That's right. They're writing letters about each other to the newspaper, which is happily printing them. I mean, we didn't have social media back then in the 1700s. Letters to the paper, that's your 18th century version of Twitter flame wars. In the last letter the doctor wrote, he said, "I regret ever making the acquaintance of Mr. Isaacs. And as I now move in a sphere of influence far superior to that of Mr. Isaacs, I want nothing to do with him or anyone who does have something to do with him." And he signed that letter with the best insult ever. He signed that letter, "I leave you to your insignificance." That is an elegant insult. And it made Ralph angry. He fired back a response to the paper. He called the doctor an object of detestation and abhorrence. He said the doctor was a self-created fake doctor. Said the doctor was a deadbeat, owed him a bunch of money, and he called him, are you ready for this? He called him a scoundrel. OMG, that's fighting words. Arguing continues until Ralph issues the challenge for a duel. Now, the doctor wants nothing to do with dueling. He thinks it's barbaric. But one of his rich friends pulls him aside, explains how it works here in Charleston. If you refuse that challenge, if you do not accept it, you'll be branded a coward. And the last thing you want to be branded in Charleston, South Carolina, home of chivalry and honor, is a coward. You might as well pack your bags, move back to Rhode Island. But Doc, here's the way it really works. Takes a couple of days to work out the details, actually schedule the duel. Couple of days, temper's cool. So when you meet for the duel, you walk your 20 paces, you turn, fire into the air, nobody gets hurt. You shake hands and leave as friends. But your honor has been saved, and by God, isn't that what's important? Well, the doctor says, okay, nobody gets hurt. I'm all in, I'll do it. A couple of days pass and they meet for the duel. Now, you might have heard this duel happened in Philadelphia Alley. Well, Graham Long, the man who literally wrote the book about dueling in South Carolina, he said he could find no evidence of any dueling ever in Philadelphia Alley. We believe this duel actually happened where the College of Charleston sits today. So a couple of days pass and they meet for the duel. They walk their 20 paces. The doctor turns, he fires into the air, and where does Ralph fire? At the doctor. Hit him in the knee. Now you might think, okay, he got hit in the knee, big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. Lead shot, no antibiotics back then. They bring the doctor back here to the house, and it was a boarding house when he lived here. Two little old ladies, sisters, ran the place. Oh, they loved the doctor. They said his whistling always brightened their day. He was so sweet and so charming. You can just kind of picture this young man sort of flirting with the old ladies. You know, they eat that stuff up. Well, they were devastated when 10 days later he dies of gangrene. But he's still here whistling at the house. Now, I think he's whistling here at the house to get somebody's attention to fix his name. I believe he's whistling in Philadelphia Alley. I think that's why the story changed to put the duel there, because he haunts that alley. But I bet he's whistling there because we're here at the house. I bet his office was on the other side of Philadelphia Alley, and that was one of the routes he took to go back and forth to work, whistling as he walked. Happy birthday, Charleston.